Hello, everybody, and welcome back or welcome to another episode of Get Well Soon XOXO. I'm your host, Maddie Manic, and today's episode we'll be talking about the role of nutrition in mental health. So, just gonna get into a little bit of that, but did want to say sorry again for missing last week's episode. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record at this point, but I just did not get around to planning anything. So it was just not going to happen last week, and trying to get better at that though. Next week's episode is going to be the first episode of season 2, so that's pretty crazy. I'm actually pretty excited about that. I didn't really think I'd still be going long enough to have seasons of this podcast. But yeah, and then I will be having an episode on that, a guest on that episode. So make sure to tune in for that one because it's going to be a pretty cool episode. But yeah, just like I was saying, I am trying to be way more on track, especially going into season 2. I want to start that off on a good note. So I'm going to try to be a lot better at getting stuff planned out and not just having that as an excuse to not record that week. But before we get too much into the episode, I just wanted to run through some updates as always. So, gonna be a lot of updates since there wasn't an episode last week. We did go to, me and Mason and his family went to Oktoberfest 2 weekends ago. So that was super fun. I look forward to Oktoberfest literally all year long. It is like one of my favorite things to do, especially because it's like in the fall season, and I feel like really like tells me it's fall when that comes around, and I just think it's so fun. So we got to do that, and that was a lot of fun. And then we got our grass in just last week, so we just have to wait another week and a half to actually be able to enjoy it, but it looks so pretty. I'm so excited about it. We're finally like getting the yard like all done. We'll get our trees in probably next week, so it's gonna be ready for us to enjoy for a little bit before the snow comes. And then we did actually have pretty like crazy, scary weekend. Like I feel like I'm just going into this new week, I'm like, my head is not like, it's just all over the place because it was definitely like very scary weekend. So basically on Saturday, my sister's boyfriend had a very, 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 very scary accident, and he had to go to the emergency room and like had to get surgery, and it was just literally like so terrifying. Thankfully, he's okay. He's like just recovering now, so that's good, but very, very scary. Just, yeah, it was, especially like at the time not really knowing what was going on. Yeah, that was scary. But then we did go over to like visit him and kind of like bring over like a smoothie and stuff on Sunday. And then while we were there, Mason ended up just like randomly passing out, and it was like so like freaking scary because like we didn't really know why it was happening. All of a sudden like he's just like unconscious, and I like was crying, and it was super scary. Didn't know why that happened. We went to the Insecure that night to kind of see if they could figure out, which they basically seemed like they just wanted to go home. They were kind of like, well, we don't really know why it happened, so unless we want to do all kinds of crazy tests, like, I don't know what to tell you. And then he actually ended up going to the hospital next day and is getting like tests done because they were like, yeah, that's not normal. Like that doesn't just happen. So kind of waiting to see what's going on with that. But that was super scary. And yeah, my nerves are just kind of shot this week. So yeah. But yeah. So that's kind of what happened this weekend. Then coming up into this week, I'm doing a little girls' night with the girls on my mom's side of the family. So that should be super fun. It's gonna be like fall themed. It's gonna be like cozy vibes. like fall movie or fall movie, like Halloween movie on in the background, kind of whatever we decide on, and yeah, just doing a little like activity, having some good yummy food. So I'm really excited for that. And then I did go to Trader Joe's with my sister and we did like a big fall haul, and I'm just thriving right now. I literally love the time of the year when Trader Joe's has all of their fall stuff, because it's just, like I've said a million times, fall is my favorite, pumpkin stuff is my favorite. So I just get all of the stuff, I mean all the stuff that I can't eat, because there's all of like, that's what actually makes me so jealous, is when they have all their like fall like baked goods and everything, and I can't really have those. Or like they have like the maple cookies and like the pumpkin cookies and stuff, and like those I can't have. But I wish I could, because they look amazing. But I still get like a lot of the other, like the gluten-free pumpkin ravioli is chef's kiss, so good. I literally am obsessed with it. So I always get like that, and like their autumn harvest. Sorry, like my legs are going dead for those of you watching. The autumn harvest pasta sauce that I'll do with the ravioli is just the best mix ever. What else I really love? Oh, their pumpkin butter and their pumpkin cream cheese, and I'm making pumpkin bagels tonight to have with the pumpkin cream cheese. Perfect combo. I love both of those so much. And just like their like scent, like fall scents, like they have like a pumpkin like soap and hand lotion combo, and then like they have like their little cinnamon broomsticks that just make the house smell so amazing. I know I'm forgetting something fall pumpkin related that I get there that I always get every year, but can't think of it right now. But yeah, so just got a lot of fall stuff and did kind of grocery shopping there. Sorry, I'm like out of breath today. That's another thing. I really like this certain brand of plant milk, like almond oat milk, and it's called Malk. For those of you who haven't heard of it, that's what it is. Out like in Utah, I know they have it at Sprouts and Harmon's. I'm not sure exactly where else, but they do like seasonal flavors like eggnog and pumpkin spice, flavored almond milk. And so like last year is when I first discovered the eggnog, and I was literally trying like the whole month of November and December, just specifically placing orders to get the eggnog flavor while it was in season, because I didn't really know how long it was going to be in season for. And like would just try to add random things to meet the minimum like price, like back cart requirement in order to like get an order delivered, to get that delivered. And probably ended up wasting quite a bit of money doing this, so that was annoying. But yeah, every week the shopper would say that the flavor was out of stock and wouldn't be able to get it, and it would just ruin my night because I wanted to try it so badly, which some people may say that could have been easily solved by just going to Sprouts and finding it myself. But to that I say I didn't know for sure if it was actually in stock. I didn't know if they were lying or not, and so I was not, but Sprouts was not close to my house. I didn't want to drive all the way there just to find out it really was out of stock, because that would just end up, I'd be even more annoyed with that. So I was just trying to trust that they were doing their job and looking, and it really was out of stock, which I didn't really believe, because there were sometimes where I was placing like multiple orders a week, and I was like, there is no way they still don't have this in stock. So it was a little annoying. But anyways, the reason I was telling that story is because I just saw that they had a new pumpkin spice flavor for fall. And so I really, really, really wanted to try to get it. And so I placed an order last week. And what do you know? Said that it was out of stock. So I was like, whatever, I expected that. So I saw that they had it at Harmon's. And so I was like, I'm just gonna try it out. I made one final attempt, placed an order yesterday. Sorry. I'm like also tired today. Placed an order yesterday, and they finally had it. I was so freaking excited. Like it really just is the little things. Like, I'm not, like, made my day. I was so freaking excited that they finally had it and I was finally able to try it. Definitely not really that great on its own. I will say that. I wouldn't really just drink almond milk anyways, but yeah, you definitely, like, I just wanted it for like coffee and like tea and stuff. So I had it today and it was pretty good with my black tea, and I'm really excited to finally be able to have it. And now I'm probably just gonna be able to be placing my orders from Herman's instead, because I think they just have like somebody from the store shopping our orders. So I kind of feel like they find things better because, you know, like they work there. So, but like from now on, I will be going with Herman's orders. Just like, especially when like the eggnog flavor comes around, I'm gonna try there first for sure. But yeah, sorry. That was a super, super long intro. It was already half the episode, I think. But yeah, let's just dive into today's topic. So, as I was saying, this episode's going to be the role of nutrition in mental health. So, just going to kind of dive into like what exactly that is, like what the role is. So, as said, and for those of you watching, I'm sure you know if you've watched other episodes, but like I'm looking down a lot because I have like my notes right here. So that's kind of just where I'm looking. As said in a portion of this article titled Mental Health Awareness Month, Nutrition and Mental Health, written by Sabrina Howard, and this article in particular is from appetiteforchange.org. The relationship between nutrition and mental health is significant, as the food we eat can affect our mood, cognitive functioning, I was doing so good, and overall mental well-being. Studies have shown that a diet high in processed and sugary foods can increase the risk of depression and anxiety, while a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins can improve mental health outcomes. The gut-brain axis, the connection between the gut and the brain, also plays a crucial role in mental health, with research suggesting that a healthy gut microbiome can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. Additionally, certain nutrients such as omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and B vitamins have been found to have a positive impact on mental health. Poor nutrition, on the other hand, can contribute to inflammation, oxidative stress, and hormonal imbalances, which can all negatively affect mental health. End quote. I would have to say this is very true. I have definitely noticed this in my own life personally, when I'm not eating as I usually do, like as I have been for past couple years. I feel like I didn't really notice that like as much when I was like younger and wasn't really eating like super clean and stuff, because like I wasn't gonna notice a difference because I wasn't doing that. But ever since eating like way more clean, I feel like I can definitely tell a difference in like my mental health and stuff when I'm not. Like, for example, if I'm on vacation and I'm just eating out for like every single meal, I definitely feel like I have way more brain fog and I just get like way more anxious, and just not really feeling like myself when that's happening. And then a time I really remember where my diet like / nutrition was affecting my mental health a lot was when I got my wisdom teeth out a couple years ago, and I was like not eating barely anything because I was so afraid of food getting like stuck in the sockets and like causing like infections or dry sockets, whatever happens with that. I literally was terrified, so terrified of that happening. Like I just didn't want to get my wisdom teeth out in general for that reason. And so I was just like trying to be uber careful. So basically I tried to stick to mostly liquids, and if I did eat food, I had to like chew it, like spend forever trying to chew it, like chewing with only like my very front teeth and like kind of like smashing it up at the top of my mouth with my tongue, and just kind of like swallowing, like, you know, like just trying to not really get it like back in the back of my mouth at all. So obviously this takes quite a bit of time, especially if it's like food that's not that easy to chew. So I would just basically get like baby portions of food because I knew it would take me like 2 hours to finish like a big plate of food. And it wasn't just like for the week or two recovery period after your wisdom teeth out. I am a huge hypochondriac, so literally this lasted for like maybe 2 months of me eating like this. It was definitely a little over the top, but I was like, I'd rather be safe than sorry, because if I do get dry sockets or something like, or infection, like I'm going to be a million times worse, and I will probably never eat like solid foods again because I'll be so scared. So I was trying to err on the side of caution, and it just didn't end up really helping me. Like, I mean, did help that not to happen, but like it in turn, like didn't really help me like nutritionally. So basically, obviously I was not really eating even remotely close to as much as I should have been, and my diet just didn't really have a whole lot of variety or substance. So I ended up losing quite a bit of weight at that time, which I was like 21 at that time. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure I weighed less than I did in my last couple years of high school, which I feel like I was like pretty average weight in high school, and like I feel like I should not have weighed even less than that at the age of 21. And I was just like a mess at that time, like so anxious and stressed out, and like I never went to the doctor and like got diagnosed or anything with like depression, but I would definitely say I was pretty depressed at that time, like just a very low time of my life for me, like I was just going through it. And although I do think there was a couple other things playing into that as well, I do know that my nutrition at the time was playing a huge role in that, because I had like little to no nutrition happening because of the way that I was eating. So yeah, just an example of how not getting the right nutrition can definitely like really affect you mentally, and just like have you being not mentally healthy either. And on the opposite end of this, I feel like when I think of recent times in my life, like times where I'm feeling like the happiest and just the best and like mentally stable and everything, it's just like those are times when I know that I've had like a solid nutrition routine going on. Like I always go back to the summer of 2021 when I talk about like physical shape and like eating and stuff, but I feel like I just was feeling my absolute best at that time. Like I feel like I looked my best, I like felt my best, and maybe I did have a little bit of motivation because I maybe had a feeling / hope that I was getting proposed to that summer. But so yeah, I did have ulterior motives to try and eat in full and look my best that summer. But that being said, I was eating very good that summer, looking and feeling my absolute best, and I have constantly just been trying to get back to that because it's just addicting once you get to that point, and I'm just literally always striving for that. So just trying to, I mean, like I definitely feel like I actually almost eat cleaner now than I did that summer, but I feel like I was just more consistently, like I wasn't really having like a whole lot of, I feel like, cheat meals and stuff then. So maybe that was the difference. Also my workout routine was like really good back then. But anyways, yeah, just trying to eat clean because I do notice that those like the high sugary foods and like really processed foods and stuff like that does affect me mentally big time. And I try to avoid being extra anxious because I'm already like an anxious person. So yeah. I was going to say more from the article that I quoted and cited earlier in this episode. Certain foods have been shown to promote mental health by providing nutrients that support brain function, Examples of food for depression and anxiety include fatty fish such as salmon, love salmon, have a lot of that. Leafy green vegetables like spinach and kale, also always have either one of those in my fridge every single week. Sometimes they may get mostly wasted, but I try not to. Nuts and seeds such as almonds and pumpkin seeds. Another thing I like, if I make like acai, well, I kind of like make smoothie bowls a lot for lunch, and I'll always throw in like peanuts or like slivered almonds and stuff in those because I feel like they're so good in those bowls. And I'll also do this like brand Purely Elizabeth granola because it's like a super clean granola. So really good like lunch idea if you love like sweeter types of like lunches and stuff, because I love sweeter types of food just in general. Sorry, back to the article. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and kimchi. I was calling it kimichi, I'm pretty sure, for the longest time. And then my younger sister was like, "You mean kimchi?" And I was like, "Stop it, Hannah." I was like, I feel stupid now, so I'm pretty sure, I think I just said it correctly, but she'll listen and correct me if I didn't. And then dark chocolate, which contains antioxidants and can improve mood by increasing serotonin levels. I would definitely say dark chocolate makes me very happy. I am a huge fan of dark chocolate. I definitely incorporate that food into my diet, or that food group type into my diet quite often. So I do love seeing that one on that list for sure. But I do feel like a lot of those are pretty easy to incorporate into your diet here and there. So just a little something to keep in mind. I just really wanted to kind of point out how important nutrition is to mental health for those who aren't already aware of that, just to kind of be considerate of that when you're making those nutrition choices, because, you know, we all want to be feeling our best, like physically, mentally, everything. As always, I do think the 80-20 rule can be applied here because, like, that's what I try to do to allow myself some joy because, like, I love eating clean. I do like doing that. I don't feel like it's like super like difficult for me to do. But with that being said, there is like certain things where I'm kind of like, well, ignorance is bliss. I'm not gonna like, I love eating that thing. I find joy in eating that thing. So I'm not going to like ruin it by looking at the label because I'm sure it's probably not the best for me. But like if I'm having it once in a while, it's not the end of the world. So follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, be eating really good, you know, getting those nutrients to support your mental health. And then still having your little, I can't think of like what they're called, like guilty pleasures. Like for me, I just found out that our Clean Simple Eats protein is not super clean. Like just, which like I don't want to hate on Clean Simple Eats because, you know, if they ever did want to do a collab one day, I will support. I love Clean Simple Eats. Like that's one thing I'm like, I don't really know. Like I feel like it's not like you can't really know for sure what's in it. So I'm like, maybe it still is on the clean side. I know that the label is kind of a little bit like, because they have natural flavors, which is one thing that's like, is said that so many chemicals can be hidden just by putting natural flavors on the label. So that's like usually a big red flag if you see that on something. But, you know, I choose to believe it's not that bad and they taste amazing. And I love making little ice cream things out of them with like the Ninja Creamy. So that's one thing I'll just be like, I'll look the other way. I'm still gonna eat Clean Simple Eats because I love it. So yeah, just following that rule, you can still allow yourself to have some like fun with your diet while still feeling good. But yeah, just a little food for thought today, no pun intended. Thanks to all who stuck around to this point. I do really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and can continue to tune in for future episodes for season 2. It's going to be so fun. Little housekeeping as always. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave this episode or the podcast a review if you haven't yet, because it helps me out so much. Share it with your friends, whatever, just help get it out there. You can find me on Instagram as Maddie.Manic for my personal account, and getwellsoon__xoxo for the podcast account, and Maddie.Manic for my TikTok, and then get.well.soon_xoxo for the podcast TikTok account. And my YouTube is linked in my Insta bio and my TikTok bio. So this episode will be on there as well shortly after the episode is live on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But I'll have all this linked in the show notes as always. Thanks again for tuning in, and don't forget to live your life beautifully. Talk to you next Wednesday.